Welcome back, guys. Dirk the Red Panda here with Tennis Ace. So I managed to get a bit of a head start with episode 19, and I was like, hey, might as well get it out by the end of this weekend, or when it's gonna be probably released on YouTube, like Monday or Tuesday. I'm trying to still get Echo's episode rendered at the moment I'm recording this, which is Sunday night. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening with that. So this episode, or this day I mean, day 10, is going to be 3 parts. 2 50-ish minute episodes like this, and then the last one's going to be 30 minutes, maybe like 25, but that has a lot of stuff going on in the 25 minutes. You guys will love it, either way. So with that out of the way, let's get into the reading. My mind is violently snapped back into wakefulness by the sudden blaring noise of the alarm. What the? Who even set up an alarm? Shit, where is it so I can turn this damn thing off? Ah, there. 9:30? Why the hell am I waking up at 9:30 on a weekend day? It's not as if I have anything to... Wait. Did I promise to go out with someone today? As my mind slowly dispels its foggy state, I seem to remember a little bit more. That's right. I had scheduled to go out today. It was with... Shit! That's right. Shoichi asked me to go out with him today. I was sitting on the rooftop like I do sometimes. Cloud gazing helps keep my stress at an acceptable level. Oh, I knew you'd be here. Shoichi showed up, looking down at me with a mix of annoyance and amusement. I get the feeling that we've done this a lot over the years. What is it this time? Too much homework? Incoming tests are leaving you stressed? Not sure. It wasn't uncommon for me to feel on edge from time to time, be it home life, schoolwork, or everything that was going on with my tennis career. There was always something to tick me off and make me feel stressed. Being lazy was my major outlet. Shoichi sits down on the ground next to me. I can see him staring at my face in curiosity for a few seconds. Then, he turns his eyes towards the sky, watching the clouds. He curves his body forward, hugging his knees as he looks up. We sit in silence for a few minutes, merely watching the clouds as they fly by. It might be silly, but it really does help me to relax. You know. Shoichi starts to talk. Spare me the lecture. Before he even has time to finish his sentence, I already cut him off. Rude? You don't even know what I was going to say. It's you. Of course you are going to give me a lecture about missing class and how that will reflect poorly on my college admittance exams. Then I'd have to remind you that I don't even plan on taking those. Yada yada yada. It's the same argument we have every time. Pick a new topic already. I give a fleeting glance in his direction. Seeing that look of annoyance on his face feels refreshing somehow. I guess you really do know me well. It's been over 10 years. It's expected that I would by this point. I guess that's true. Shoichi starts rocking his body sideways as he hums a familiar melody. For some reason, I can't seem to recall where I've heard this before. Still, it's a very pleasant tune. Shoichi continues humming happily, not realizing that I've begun watching him. Seeing him look so happy always does wonders for my mood. More so than any clouds in the sky could. Shoichi finally seems to notice that my attention has turned to him. What is it? My heart seems to skip a beat for a second there. I have to look away to hide the fact that I'm suddenly blushing. Why am I blushing? No, it's nothing. I hear Shoichi chuckling, but I still don't turn to look at him. Is that so, huh? Shoichi starts humming again. Hey, Nico. He starts humming very quickly, suddenly calling out to me. Reflexively, I turn to look at him. What is it? Shoichi leans forward against his knees, resting his chin on them as his eyes look sideways at me. Do you remember this song? Huh? What kind of question is this? You mean the one you were humming? Yeah? Shoichi nods. Where was it I heard that song before? It sounds really familiar. Really? It's the song that was playing at the Moon Festival we went to as kids. When was that again? 6 years ago? Huh? Shoichi stares at me in complete bewilderment for a few seconds. Doubt starts creeping in. Could it be that I was wrong? Then he suddenly nods energetically, looking incredibly pleased with himself. You do remember. I'm glad. Shoichi starts laughing. He seems so innocent and unguarded. I can't help but start laughing myself. We keep laughing like two idiots for a few seconds, just enjoying the moment. That's right. The song suddenly popped it back in my mind this morning. I don't know why. It just reminded me of how long it's been since we last went to a festival. Well, we always seem to be very busy around the time of the festival, so it's no surprise. Shoichi nods. That's also true. It's kind of sad when I think about it. It doesn't help that the festival only happens during one of the busiest seasons of the year. Our city's Moon Festival happens mid-June, just when one of the major tennis tournaments is going on. It's also right in the middle of the inter-high qualifiers, so Shoichi has been very busy with his team in later years. In the end, we haven't managed to attend together once in the last 6 years. It feels a bit sad when you think about it. Damn it, now that you mention it, I really want to try going to a festival again. It's really been a while. Last time I attended was on our first year, but you weren't doing too hot back then and didn't want to go with me. Don't remind me. That was back during the peak of my slump. I was sitting around and feeling pity for myself most of the time. It's embarrassing to even think about. Hey, how about we go together this year? You forgot the part where we're both probably going to be super busy by then. Well, do you know for a fact that you won't have at least one free day during the festival? Well, our city's festival starts on Friday, going all the way to Sunday. So it might be possible for us to meet up then, but I might have the time, but we don't know if you will. We can't make arrangements like this without knowing. That's true. But I want to go to a festival. Shoichi starts throwing a temper tantrum. As comical as the image of an 18-year-old that's almost 2 meters tall flailing around in a tantrum is, it's also a little bit weird. What are you, a kid? That's cruel. His switch suddenly goes off. Jeez, when we're both alone together, he becomes so easygoing that it's like hanging out with a completely different person. Just accept reality already. The chances of us two going out to a festival together are stupidly small this year. Well... What is it? Just spit it out already. Now that I think about it, that's not entirely true. We could go to the festival if we wanted to. What? I don't know of any festivals in town save for the Moon Festival. Then you're in for a treat. Will you be free on Saturday? I should be. Why? Oh, no reason in particular. Except that you'll be going out with me, of course. There's one festival going on in town this Saturday, and I'm absolutely going to take you there. What festival is this? That, my friend, will be a surprise. I groan, already anticipating the worst. Right. That's why I had my alarm blaring early in the morning on a weekend. I know I promised to go out with him, but I'm so groggy right now that the idea of getting up just feels like a chore. Nikki, aren't you up yet? Aki opens the door, peering his little head inside for a few seconds. As soon as he realizes that I'm looking right at him, he walks inside and closes the door behind him. Sheesh, you're still in bed? How long do you even plan on sleeping for? Just 5 more minutes, Aki. I cover myself with my blanket, completely obfuscating my view. Aki sighs audibly. He mutters something that I can barely hear. What a useless older brother you can be sometimes. Hey Aki, what the hell did you just say? I immediately stand up on my feet, yep, on top of my bed, looking at my little brother who just stares up at me with a blank expression. Oh, you're up now. Since you're up already, why don't you head downstairs now? Shoichi has been waiting for you for over an hour already. Without missing a beat, Aki says whatever he wants and leaves. Wait a second. That little bastard played me! I should have known. He knew I'd get angry and would get up if he said that. Seriously, getting played by my little brother like that, it's a bit... Wait. What was the last part? Hey, Aniki, what did you just say? He spins around in place to look at me. Huh? I thought I made myself pretty clear. I mean the part about Shoichi being here. Oh. He came over at 8:30. He's been waiting for you for over an hour. What? You probably shouldn't keep him waiting much longer. I'm left scrambling to get dressed as fast as I can. Shit, why is Shoichi even here already? We set up to meet at 10. As I run into the living room, still hastily shoving myself inside a random shirt, I see Shoichi sitting on the couch, chatting with my little brother. Oh, you're up. About time. He flashes me a cheeky grin as he gets up from his seat to come greet me, extending his hand for a handshake. What are you doing here? Really? That's the first thing you say to me? Not nice to meet you, Shoichi, or how have you been, Shoichi? Alright, fine. I grab his hand and give him a firm handshake. Nice to see you, Shoichi. How have you been? Also, what the hell are you doing here? You wound me, Nico. But to answer your question, I came over because I thought we could chat while you got ready. That way, we could also head out together instead of meeting at the station. So you showed up an hour and a half before we were supposed to meet. Shoichi shifts around, crossing his arms and looking as if I had offended him. Of course not. I'm not stupid. We agreed to meet at 9. I was half an hour early. What? No, you weren't. We agreed to meet at 10. I even set up my alarm for 9:30. You seriously think we were meeting at 10? I nod. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his phone. Here. See what it says? 9 a.m. 9. And I warned you not to be late. What? You have anything to say in your defense? I made a mistake. I stick my tongue out, trying to act cute and innocent. Ow! Shoichi gives me a karate chop to the head, making me see stars. Don't try to pull off the Mo act. You're neither a girl, nor are you cute. You didn't have to hit me so friggin' hard. Hard? Pfft, don't make me laugh. If I had actually hit you hard, I would have probably cracked your skull. What the hell are you, the Incredible Hulk? I just have a little bit of upper body strength. A little bit is an understatement. By the way, why didn't you wake me up if you knew I was late? Well... What? You looked really peaceful in your sleep, so I didn't want to disturb you. And what's the real reason? What? I'm being serious! I thought you could use some sleep, that's all. For some reason, Shoichi is suddenly acting very flustered. Shoichi is telling the truth. I told him to wake you up a bunch of times and he refused. Really? Doesn't sound like the Shoichi that I know. Well, there it is. Corroboration from the best possible witness. Aki grins, looking maliciously at Shoichi. Yes, in fact, I'm pretty sure you muttered, "He looks so cute when he's asleep," when you thought I wasn't listening. What? I did not! Not to mention you telling me, "No, let him sleep. It'd be too cruel to wake him up." Whoa, Aki-kun, shut up! And I didn't say it like that. Aki starts laughing uncontrollably. To be honest, Seeing Shoichi flustered like this is very amusing for some reason. I can't resist laughing like a complete idiot. Ah, you both suck. No wonder you're brothers. Hey, if you didn't want me to parrot it back to my brother, then you shouldn't have said it in earshot of me. What? No one likes a snitch, Aki-kun. As far as I know, no one likes the creepy guy who watches other people sleeping either. Talk about sass. That's it. Come here, you brat. Shoichi starts chasing Aki around the house in what can only be described as a surreal scene. When did we turn into an early 60s American cartoon? Hey Shoichi, we're already late. Shouldn't we get going? Oh, right. As if he suddenly snapped back to reality, Shoichi lets go of Aki, whom he had captured. Aki then proceeds to run behind me to hide. What are you, 8? Hey, I might be young, but at least I can wake up on time for my appointments. You brat. Alright, before I'm forced to bear witness to a murder, shouldn't you eat something before we leave? I thought that since we were pressed for time, I should buy something on the way. Pressed for time? We're not pressed for time. It's a festival. It starts at night. What? I didn't know that. If it only starts at night, why the hell did you want me to wake up at 8:30? I thought we could spend the day together. Kinda like when we were kids. I simply stand there, giving Shoichi a blank look. What? You woke me up early, for no reason? Shoichi reaches towards me and flicks me in the forehead. Ow! You'll have ton of opportunities to sleep in, lazy boy, but we won't always have the opportunity to spend time together. Did you already forget how ridiculously little free time I have? I groan, crossing my arms and looking away in frustration. Alright, I guess you're right. Where are we going anyway? Ramen. I'm gonna need a little more to go on here. Do you remember that ramen restaurant close to our old club? It hosts a special food challenge on Saturdays. Ah, you mean the Sakura Ramen and the super spicy special Sakura Ramen challenge? Aki suddenly chimes in on the conversation. I swear to God I nearly forgot he was here. That's right, that's the one. Aki smiles, suddenly looking very amused. Common sense tells me that I should probably try to convince you not to go there, but... if it's you then, I'm pretty sure it'll be no sweat. Have you tried the challenge before, Aki-kun? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a pleasant experience. I could barely eat more than a few bites of it and my eyeballs felt like they were on fire. My tongue went numb, I could barely breathe, my throat burned more than Aniki's fur when he first tried cooking an American barbecue last year. Hey! Aki arched his eyebrows, looking defiantly at me. It's true. We couldn't even sell the grill because you got so pissed off when it singed your fur that you broke it into a million pieces. Oh, so that's how it happened. You've never heard anything about it. My lips are sealed. Sure. Until you find the time when it can cause the most damage. Well, anyway, that sounds a lot better than I thought. I can't wait to try it out. Do you want to come with us, Aki-kun? Aki scratches the back of his neck, smiling awkwardly. Sorry, I've already made plans. Oh, is that some blushing I see? Well, don't tell me that a little someone is going on a date. What? Don't be ridiculous, Shu. Kinda, yeah. What? Aki looks down at the floor, his face tinted red. Well... You're going on a date? With whom? When? How did that happen? Where are you going? Why didn't you tell... Alright, settle down, Mary Poppins. You don't need to scrutinize every little thing he does. You're not his nanny. What? He's my baby brother. He has no idea what he's doing. Of course I need to scrutinize everything he's doing. Hey, I'm already old enough to go on dates. You're 12 and a half. Also known as 12. Shoichi gets behind me and starts pushing me towards the front door as I kick and flail around trying to fight him. Okay, let's give Aki-kun a little room to breathe, shall we? Let me get this annoying bro-con older brother out of your fur, Aki-kun. What? But he can't! And who the hell are you calling a bro-con? From the corner of my eyes, I can see Aki grinning as he begins waving at us. Have a nice day. Aki, we'll talk about this when I get back. Then I'm probably shoved right out the door. Even though it's still early, there's already a little bit of a crowd walking around the train station. Jeez, how long do you plan on sulking? It's been an hour already. I can't believe you didn't let me talk Aki out of it. Talk him out of it? He's almost a teen. He's going to start dating sooner or later. Why not take this chance to show him you trust him to do the smart thing? Plus, you know Aki-kun. When was the last thing he did something dumb? That kid is way too mature for his age already. Kinda the opposite of some older brother I know. I snort. You disagree with me and insult me in the same breath? Kinda cruel if you ask me. What can I say? I'm good at multitasking. If the tables were turned and this were your sister instead, the thought of allowing her to go on a date would be inconceivable to you. Ithaca isn't stupid. I know she wouldn't go out on a date with a schmuck. Plus, I'm the last person who should be interfering in her life, really. I roll my eyes, making him giggle. Fine, whatever. I'll still ask Aki for details on what happened when I get home. Sure. Just make sure he doesn't have the girl with him in his room before you barge in. What would she be doing in his room? Oh, you know, a puzzle. My brother is 12. Please don't talk about him doing puzzles. Shoichi's laugh bellows so loudly that the people down the street turn to look at us. Not so loud, sheesh. Sorry, you're just way too much of a adulting father, even though you're only his brother. It just makes me laugh. What's wrong with me worrying about him? I don't care how old he is, he's still my baby brother. Shoichi pats me on the back. There's nothing wrong with it. On the contrary, I really like this caring side of yours. Just dial it down a little. If you try controlling him too much, he's gotta end up turning on you. Point taken. We reach the entrance to a traditional ramen restaurant and see a giant line formed in front of it. Oh right, exclusive food challenge only on Saturdays. Of course there'd be a line. Wait here, I'm gonna put our names on the waiting list. Shoichi disappears amidst the sea of people as he goes up to the clerk standing at the end of the line. Sheesh, talk about a lousy job, having to stand outside all day taking count of these people outside. My feet hurt just thinking about it. I decide to check my phone to kill time until Shoichi comes back. Let's see. No new messages, no new emails. Oh wait, there's a new message in my junk folder. What does it say? Jeez, the list's long. They said it would be at least 40 minutes, and Nico, what's wrong? I notice Shoichi next to me when he puts his hand on my wrist and lowers my phone. Ah, Shoichi. Sorry. I didn't notice you coming back. I just saw an email I got last night. Oh, this should be good. What's it about? I look over the email again, rereading it for the third time. It's an endorsement offer. Huh, let me guess. You're chucking this one in the trash bin like the others. I don't know. Shoichi's eyes immediately go wide. He walks up to me, putting a hand on my forehead. I push him away. What are you doing? Making sure you're not sick. Why would you think I'm sick? Shoichi puts both of his hands on his waist and cocks his head sideways, looking at me with disbelief. You've always been adamant about refusing any and all endorsement offers until you go pro. Yada yada yada, don't want them to think they own me, yada yada yada. First of all, I don't sound like that. Second of all, it's mostly true. And what about this time? Why are you suddenly hesitant? Because I tap on my phone screen and zoom in on the logo at the email's header, letting Shoichi look at the screen. Huh? Regent? They're the biggest tennis sportswear company in the world. I know. Why do you think I hesitated? You don't just turn down an offer from Regent. I look at my phone's screen again, uncertain of what to do. I turn off my phone's screen and shove it back out of my pocket. You're not gonna respond to them? Not now. I'm not sure what I'd even say. Say yes. That would fly on the face of my own policy. Which is a stupid policy anyway. I choose to ignore that comment. And it would make me look like a hypocrite to the companies I turned down when I said I didn't want to be tied down to a sponsor until I went pro. That one makes a bit more sense. You don't say. I give him the best snarky comment I can muster. I think I'm all snarked out. That was pretty mild compared to my usual standard. Well, Shoichi bites his lower lip. I don't think I'm the best person to be offering you this advice. Considering the fact that I turned down a few endorsement offers as well. 5 to be exact. Of course you'd be keeping count. Well, anyway, I think you should still take it. Oh, really? Why is that? Well, Shoichi looks around and notices that there are a few vacant seats in the waiting lounge outside the restaurant. He grabs my hand and leads me by the arm to them, getting us both to sit down. You should think about how this would affect the beginning of your career. You're planning to go pro at the end of the year. By the way, I won't start the discussion about you going to college before going pro, cause I don't want to start an argument again, so don't worry about it. I shrug. Shoichi slowly nods upon seeing my response and starts talking again, measuring his words. But don't you think that you should, well, start accruing funds? Knowing you, I imagine you'd want to take part in the biggest tournament possible right after going pro. That would require traveling abroad. A company might hesitate to cover the costs of that for a player they just signed with. On the other hand, if they'd been sponsoring you for a whole year already, and you've produced good results during that time, that might be an incentive to do that. I'm taken slightly aback by his words. I hadn't really thought that far on the whole thing. But then again, I guess it's pretty much like him to have given things like this much thought. Let me guess, this is something you've been wanting to tell me for a while already, but couldn't find a good way to bring up the subject. Can you blame me? It's kinda hard to figure out what will make you blow up. And you've always been a bit touchy on the subject of your career. I nod, trying to think over his words. I'm suddenly hyper aware of the weight of my phone in my pocket. Just knowing that I have a message from Regent there. I'll think about this after I get home. If I spend our time together worrying about this, then you won't have any fun. Oh, since when do you worry about that? I know how much you've been looking forward to this. What are you talking about? How would you even be able to tell? I grin. Your tail has been wagging non-stop since we got out of the house. It still is, in fact. Shoichi's eyes widen and he looks back, noticing his tail wagging frantically behind the seat. His body suddenly goes stiff and his tail freezes. His face suddenly looks flushed. You saw nothing. I chuckle, giving him a friendly punch on the shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks. After I finished all that paperwork, I found out that our treasurer had gotten things mixed up and our actual budget was only half the amount he specified at first. Sounds like you guys had a ton of problems with over-budgeting, huh? After about 30 minutes, we were still waiting for our names to be called. Although I'm fairly certain we should be the next ones. I don't understand how so many people can mess up so often. This is what you get for being too competent. People start slacking off because they know you'll cover for them. I shouldn't be forced to slow down my pace just because they don't want to work. I grin, I never said you did. Shoichi looks at me in confusion, opening his mouth to answer me. Shoichi Urata? The clerk calls for Shoichi's name and we reflexively stand up. That's us. We walk towards the clerk, a red panda, and he crosses Shoichi's name out of the list. 2 people, correct? Shoichi nods. Right this way, please. The clerk leads us inside to a couple of empty seats in front of the kitchen. All of our tables are occupied at the moment, so I hope this will suffice. It's plenty. Thank you, sir. The red panda smiles, handing us a pair of menus. Take your time to decide on what you'll have. You may call one of the waiters when you're ready to order. Shoichi shoots me a glance from the corner of his eye and smiles at the clerk again. That might take a while. I hope you don't mind. The clerk follows his gaze and flashes a knowing grin, nodding. Of course, sir. He leaves to go back to the entrance, leaving us 2 sitting inside the busy restaurant. I already know what I'll order, so you go ahead and decide. I'll be on my phone to pass the time. I'll check to see if you're ready to order in 30 minutes or so. Hey! Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too little time for you? I don't take that long to decide. Oh, don't beat yourself up over it. You're still my friend. A little annoying quirk like that isn't going to change my mind. You suck. Well, prove me wrong then. Tell me, what were you going to order? Well... Tick-tock, 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 tick. Shoichi imitates a ticking clock. Cut it out. Sorry. Teasing you is just too funny. I'm not exactly having fun over here. Sorry, I'll stop. I just missed going out with you. Just the 2 of us, I mean. We don't spend as much time together as I'd like. At this point, I think that if it were up to you, we'd be together 24/7. Something like that, yeah. His voice is warm and wistful, leaving me suddenly a little bit embarrassed. Have I been neglecting him a little lately? Well, anyway, I already know what I'll be having. I'm surprised you're not ordering soba. I would, but they don't do a spicy soba dish like the spicy ramen challenge. I still think you're insane. Why? What's the worst that could happen? Well, I didn't ask you to make a list. We both laugh at our own silliness. A few heads turn to look our way since we are easily the most boisterous patrons in the house at the moment, but this is one of the few times I just don't care. I'll agree. It's nice to go out just the 2 of us again. It's really been so long. Well, what if I joined you in this challenge? You doing a spicy food challenge? Really? What? I don't hate spicy foods. Sure, you don't hate them. You don't like them either. Do I need to remind you of what happened last time you tried something spicy? My ears immediately fold down on my face and I feel my cheeks go red. Can we not talk about that? Let's see. It was October 1st, 2009. I asked you to not talk about it. You and I had gone to this small burger joint in the shopping mall. You're still talking about it. There was this challenge to eat a super spicy grilled steak burger. I put my arms on top of the counter to bury my face in them, hiding it. You decided that, hey, this is child's play for me. I'll try it, and try you did. Even after you took the first bite and realized it was much spicier than you imagined, you still ate the whole thing, and for that, I congratulated you. And then, when we got back to your house, I had to sit in the living room playing games on my own while you spent the next 3 hours locked up in the bathroom. How many rolls of toilet paper did you use? 2? I groan. I hear Shoichi laughing next to me. Man, you suck. My voice comes out muffled due to my arms covering my face. You really like using that expression, don't you? Has it turned into your catchphrase already? I straighten myself up on my seat, glaring daggers at the damn husky sitting next to me. Aw, you look so cute. You're angry and glaring at me, but your face is still red. It's so adorable. Shut up. Let's just order already. Shoichi grins, putting a hand on top of my head and tousling my fur. So, shall I order us to the super spicy special Sakura ramen then? No. God, I really want to knock that stupid cocky smile off his face. Ah, so you've changed your mind. What will it be then, Mr. Two Rolls? Call me Mr. Two Rolls again, and I'll make you eat through a straw for the rest of the month. Shoichi puts both hands in the air. Oh, so scary. You really don't take me seriously at all, do you? Nope, not one bit. Just order me a regular pork miso ramen and shut up. Shoichi nods, doing a mock bow on his seat. Very well, Your Highness. I groan again to signal my displeasure. Shoichi calls over one of the waiters and gives him our order. The man writes it down in a flash, and before I know it, he's already gone. At least the service here is efficient. If Saya were here, she'd take that as an accusation that her service isn't up to par. You're right. The thought of that alone is already exhausting. I imagine myself explaining over and over to a belligerent Saya that I didn't mean anything by it and that she's a good waitress. Just the thought of having her angry at me is enough to make me feel like I've had a few years knocked off my lifespan. I can already guess what you're thinking of just by the look on your face. Shoichi laughs cheerfully, putting his hand on my shoulder and giving it a light squeeze. I chuckle nervously. Yeah, let's hope I can go the rest of the year without awakening the beast. Knowing you, I'd be surprised if you managed a whole week without pissing her off. Don't jinx me. Shoichi laughs again, giving me a few more taps on the back. Your order's up. A goat calls our attention from behind the counter and hands us bowls of piping hot ramen. Just seeing my bowl in front of my eyes is already enough to make me drool. The broth is so clear that it's almost see-through, but the smell is still amazing. I can't wait to dig in. I then look to the side and see Shoichi's bowl and... Your bowl's bright red! Is that all pepper sauce? Who knows? Let's give it a try. Shoichi grasps the chopsticks in his hands and puts them both together in front of his face and closing his eyes. Thank you for the food. Are you really saying thank you for the food, or are you praying that it won't kill you? He elbows me in the arm, grinning. Oh, shut up. He separates his chopsticks and immediately sets them down to get a generous amount of noodles, blowing on them a few times before hungrily wolfing them down. I keep watching intently to see what his reaction will be when the spices kick in. He freezes with the noodles still in his mouth, swallowing them hastily and beginning to hack and cough. What? Are you alright? I reach out to him thinking that he's being overwhelmed by the spices. Gotcha! I'm left frozen in my seat, gaping for a few seconds. You ass! I thought your mouth was burning! I was worried about you! Don't worry about it. It's not that bad. Well, to be fair, it does burn quite a bit, but I like it. I scowl, crossing both of my arms and glaring at him in displeasure. Jeez, what's with that look on your face? It was just an innocent prank. There's nothing wrong with the look on my face. This is the face I was born with. Shoichi smiles, poking my cheeks with his moist chopstick. No, it's not. Your face is usually much more handsome than that. I would know, since I look at it every day and all that. I blushed at the sudden compliment, looking away. Jeez, you really know how to defuse me, don't you? 12 years, buddy. I've known you for 12 years. What else did you expect? He then dives his chopsticks back into the bowl and gets back to eating his ramen. And that ends the first part of our 3-part series for day 10. Lots of stuff gonna be happening in this next 2 parts. And we'll catch up on all of that next time. Take care, guys.